Okay, welcome back. This is my round 2 game for the chess for cure. Uh, just came off of, or just now getting out of. I was a little under the weather, but it's a game against. Let me read this paper. Richard H. Marshall. He was like an older gentleman from Michigan, with quite a high rating, which is usually basically my biggest kryptonite. But it was a pretty good game. So let's just get into it, I guess. Uh, it was an Alehkine. He started e4. I bring the knight out. He attacks, and we go into one of the main lines of the Alehkine, which is the four pawns. Four pawns in the center for white. And it kind of looks like I haven't done much. But this is what I do against it. I take, and play bishop here. Bishop is on a good line. And usually what I have this like weird chess engine when I do opening prep, and it thinks, and I agree with it, that this move is oh well, yeah, you can't do this move because of queen takes. But uh anyways, my bad. He went here. I push in the, and I actually kind of missed an opportunity. I haven't been studying a lot of my opening theory as of late, but I remember like a couple moves later, I kind of remembered that usually against this move, I play here, and it's already kind of a little trap because you're double hitting this, uh, and so the common move is to go here, right, to defend, but now you actually have this move, knight to b4, and the idea is now you can't put the bishop here because I double hit, and I'm actually really threatening this pretty seriously. And that was the downside of going here, is usually you develop these pieces first and this one later, because if this idea was ever gone for, you would have, and if we go back to what, I was showing, this knight, if it was here, could go knight here, and it's actually really well placed there, defending this pawn and such. So, but we didn't go into any of that. Instead, I played here, which I was kind of just on my opening robot, like the main ideas of the position, which I probably shouldn't do. I should probably take my openings a little more seriously in the tournament. Uh, but we really just developed the pieces. And yeah, again, I actually, from this game, I've learned that this move, instead of bishop e2, is actually stronger. Uh, eventually you eventually develop this knight here, and you kind of trade off and try and bring the knight here and double attack this c4 pawn, and it's actually an effective strategy, more than you would think. But again, didn't go into that, just knew my basic Alehkine stuff. And now here was the first critical moment, I thought, because he does go for this. And it was the first real inaccuracy of the game from either side. Uh, at this point, it's pretty even, the position, and well played. But I decided to take, and the reason I decided to take was after queen takes. I thought this pawn is a little tender, like at the right moment. Like right now, it is actually considered top move of the engine, but oh, my bad. Yeah, they could just go queen e2, keep their eyes on the pawn, centralize the queen. So I thought there was no real reason to, but I thought maybe eventually, this move could land and be effective. But in all reality, you're supposed to just keep bishops on the board. And we'll see how that really affects me because the opponent plays well here. And yeah, I kind of get myself in some trouble. I play this is the best move. Just instantly trying to break down this strong center. Oops, that white has. And Engine did want white to take here and play knight here, which does look pretty good, doesn't it? But so luckily opponent didn't go for that and played rook here. I think. Hold on, I should probably, yeah, they played rook there, which was an annoying move. And it gives me the opportunity to take this pawn. And at first glance, it looks pretty good. Like, if you go here, and I can trade off my queens, and now we're just kind of trading down. Now we both have this weak, isolated pawns, and I could take here, and you get the idea. It looks nice. But what I saw in the game, and what my opponent obviously saw too, is that in this position, uh, when I take, he could go here. And basically what I calculated was that I would go knight here, he would go queen here, I would take, he would take, and I basically looked at this position right here, and I didn't really like it. And oddly enough, this is exactly what the top like line of the engine is. But well, I don't think I exactly thought of this, but I had similar thoughts going in, and I just didn't like anything I was looking at going down this line where they can get in this move. I thought it looked strong, even though eventually I would take. I mean, if we just go back, this pawn is hanging, this pawn is an asset, and my pieces are kind of cluttered as long as white can castle at some point, and so this is not a move. He's basically fine. But yeah, so Engine screams it's a missed opportunity, but instead I play the second best move, which is castle. And then, of course, Engine. So we're both kind of missing opportunities here. Again, he's supposed to do this, but instead he plays the second best move, which is castle. Actually, and man, why am I like struggling to remember what moves I played? Oh no, I remember now. Yeah, again, Engine wants me to take, but I play the second best move, which was I just kind of wanted the. Why these green arrows are annoying me? I really need to just stop drawing them. That would probably fix that problem. But I really wanted to sidestep all this. It was scaring me, the ideas of him just pushing down and it opening up and my queen getting under target. I thought my queen was better placed here with better opportunities to get involved into the game. And Engine agrees. It just wants me to take here and labels it as a mistake. It's okay. But and he finally does take, which I thought was weird after not taking for so long. I guess now it's because my queen doesn't support the bishop. But it is a good move, and he finally does play this idea of knight into e4, which is strong. My bishop is vulnerable, and I'd say this is another critical moment in the game, because when you really think about it, there's a lot of options for white here, and white has a ton of pressure on my king side when you think about it. He has, I mean, how many points of material is this? And look at all that space it covers just from me drawing that, and that is 9 points, 18, 23 points of material looking at my king side versus, my defense doesn't look as strong. And so my thought process was to actually try and bring another piece to the party, which was bring the knight here. But it's just kind of clunky, and I think you'll see the idea. Like it's not a horrible move, but it's not super accurate, and you'll see why, because he goes knight here, and I actually think this one is better just because you have some potential sacrifice ideas. Like imagine if, you know, I traded and then planted my, I can't plant my knight here because you're like, all right, well, I'll show it. Takes, takes, and then this is a huge threat, and this looks good until bang, So just an example why I think that one is better. But he goes with this one to open up the queen. So I do have to address that threat, and it's the idea, like, I can't take and play knight here because, yeah, you get the idea. But I push. It's pretty much the only move. I think there was another one. Yeah, it does say you can take and rook f5. I don't really like that. No thank you. It's like a loss of a pawn, and so yeah. It does look pretty weakening. It's not a proud move, and opponent again just finds another strong move to keep the pressure going. Now puts the queen here, centralizing even further, looking to take my pawn. And here, the best move is to step back with the knight and defend the pawn. You would defend both pawns. But instead I played maybe the more natural move is just to push it. But this obviously, I mean, once you see it, you see it, and I remember I didn't see his next move before I played the move, but right after I saw it, and it's just, it's tough because just he betters the queen again, hits my king. My king goes to maybe a more undesirable spot with a knight check looming, and now he gets a chance for a free move, and he takes the pawn. So now he's up a pawn, and here was when the game really decided to change. He's been punching me around, basically telling me what to do. I'm going backwards. I'm responding to a checkmate threat. Like I have to deal with my pawn being attacked. But now the game kind of changed. Oh wow, and I spoil it. But the game changes hands here because my bishop's being hit. You would think I have to decide how to trade pieces and whatnot, but instead I go with a really crafty idea and play rook here, lining my rook up on this intimidating file, and also understanding that this bishop isn't being attacked really, because if takes, I now get this move, and the game is completely changed now. It's a check, he moves, and now I can take and hit the queen, and you can see how much this has changed the game. So yeah, the bishop is not going to be taken. I hate those green arrows. And he actually does respond with the best move. He just pushes the pawn now. I don't know why I didn't originally see this. It is kind of smart, and we're going to actually see something pretty crazy happen because I do play the best move, or, yeah, wait, is it? It is. It is, but uh, the opponent missed an opportunity of a lifetime here. And it is kind of, once the engine told me about this idea, it's pretty much game over. But the best move here is knight takes. And the idea is you just are crushing you. So if I take the queen, which is not a good move, but it's a move where do I really want to lose a whole piece and not take the queen, right now? Um, but taking the queen and there's a check here takes, and believe it or not, this bishop is now hanging. Like this knight is hanging and this bishop is hanging, and you'll see why. So let's say I play the move knight here to oh my gosh, these green arrows, I just need to stop drawing them. If I play knight here to step out of being attacked, he can take this, and if I take back, this is checkmate. Or is it checkmate? I don't know, the king can step here. Whoopsie, but this is really bad news. Like rook f1 and king g4, h3. I think they all lead the mate. Bishop f2, king here, g3, king f5. Why am I missing? It's not that. Oh, right. Yeah, it's checkmate. Yeah, but that is way down the rabbit hole. Um, he plays the more natural move, and still great move, queen e4. But now it's just, this is a really complicated game. And I actually took the liberty here of really just trying the trade down. Engine did not hate this approach at all. I take, kind of forcing him to take back, really. And again, I'm forcing him to make a decision here. The only way he can mess up here is if he takes with the queen. Because if he takes with the queen, I can take here now. And I hit the queen. A move like this would just be taken, obviously. So, yeah. Whoopsie. So yeah, now he has to take with the knight or the pawn. Engine actually wanted the pawn, he took with the knight. I don't think there's a huge difference, but Engine did say it was quite considerable. And the game really starts to change here. I was just imagining him going this sooner. I don't think that he did. I take this. Oh yeah, this was probably my greedy talk about in the Bible. He can go here, and like there's all this stuff he can do, and I just allow it, and I'm just like, oh well, I'll win a pawn, and maybe I'll hold on. But here comes the knight back now because I did that. Which I don't know if he could have probably gone here anyways. I don't know if I would have wanted traded a pretty good bishop. But I come back, rook comes in, and hello. Yeah, white is doing quite well here. And obviously I complicated the game, but not enough. And I try, and this is the key move here for me. This is, I think, another great find. Rook f5, and my idea is to play here. Try and muddy up the waters. Also try and hit this pawn. And I was kind of surprised to see his next set of moves. It just forced it too much, and I think he really started to get attracted to the idea of attacking my king. And ended up not being the right idea. Like here, what he should be focusing on is getting some material. Take here again, maybe even push this pawn. I don't know, but instead he goes after my king. And even though yeah, and it does look good, but now I take, he takes, and I go here, and now, a savvy top level chess player will say, yeah, white is obviously still winning, and it's because of one idea. If you don't see this idea, you pretty much lose the game as white. And there's two moves, but they all lead to the same result. And it's either you have to check, but that's not the key move. The key move here is queen f6. Now, you would like, it's not like, so the idea is that, basically no matter what I do, there's some rook f5 and, but like let's say rook f5 now, but now queen here, and it is dangerous. There's danger to be had, but then they start taking, and yeah. But what's it called? Like, let's say I was to take the pawn. Oh well, yeah, obviously that's not great because of that. But let's say I was to take the pawn like this. There's check here, and now the key move, rook f7. Rook f7 is really dangerous, and it's the whole idea behind queen f6 to get this check. You step the king away so that you can come back here, and now you're like, oh well, what if the king comes back? It's still like this is game over. And you may say, okay, what about queen f5? This actually is a huge blunder, because if you go for the same idea, oh wait, actually, whoops, you have to go here first. Step the king in front. But now I'm allowed this check. And basically this is just perpetual, because the king can never step this way. Right? So, oh wait, hold on. I don't think you can go. Oh, you can go. Yeah, the fun thing here, but whatever. It's whatever. I won't show it all, but uh, yeah. Oh yes, but instead of all that, he makes a huge blunder, and he goes here. And you're like, and I think it's the same idea. He wants to go for the king here. He wants to move the bishop and go for the king, but the problem now, yeah, I can just take the pawn, and now I have checkmating threats. Like, if you aren't careful, hello, are you sure you want to walk into that? And there's probably something better. Oh yeah, taking like that is probably better, but yeah, so the rook hangs, and so he checks here, which is an okay move. I go here, but now you have to deal with these threats I have. This is what I meant. Obviously, yeah, this makes sense to check first, or he should honestly probably here just go rook d1. That's the smartest thing to do. The game goes on. It kind of just floundered his opportunity a little bit from here, but the game goes on. But instead he goes here, and now it's complicated. And what he has to do is he just needs to make sure that his king now has a place to hide. That's what he should do. But instead he goes for this crazy move. And it's what? That is bishop back to here to defend against this threat, but he wants to play this idea of bishop here and get line up, but the only problem with this move is it just hangs a rook. I mean, right? It just hangs a rook. I kind of flexed on him though, because I didn't take the rook. Obviously, I saw that I could take the rook, and I saw this idea of bishop here, but honestly, I was just buffooned, and it was kind of just a complete meltdown. You kind of feel for the guy, and I will give him some credit. He was, like, I would say, There was a moment here where I remembered his time. I think it was this move. He was around like 10 minutes here. You know, these are long games. You know, hours long. Uh, so yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Chess is hard. Chess is hard, man. He missed some opportunities to win the game, and I honestly just think he needed to calm down and at some point just start taking over here, and maybe push this pawn and let go of this idea of like trying to checkmate me. I mean, he was gonna have checkmate threats, and like I guess missing this, I don't know why this was not on my radar when I was at the board, not the bar, but this idea of the rook check and to come back. It once you see it though, it's like whew. But yeah, really really weird. Right, but yeah. So I took. He goes here. He was here, and yeah, back to the topic at hand. I kind of flexed on him here, and I was just seeing the board so crystal clear at this point. I thought what I did was actually a little better. It's not. You should just take the rook here, and this is completely fine. Maybe even I don't know. There's got to be some move like just king here, and you're fine. There's really not too much danger here. Like obviously he just takes and you're just up a piece and a pawn. Yeah, but I kind of stunned on him here. Yeah, and I played rook here, attacking the queen. And the reason I did is because it's actually really forcing. White has to go here. Any queen move, like he can't go here because the knight. So like any queen move, and I just take the rook, and now it's just really really bad for him. But and so he has excuse me, sorry, you just kind of heard what a sick me has been sounding like. Hold on a second. Oh, my poor throat. But yeah, it's forcing, and it's key here that the knight stops this backwards infiltration to the back rank. Really gutsy, you know, me to go for all this stuff. Uh, and it looks really confusing here, doesn't it? But I knew, like, obviously you calculate that you take the queen, and what I had calculated was this, and then when the king goes here, or actually no, I would not play there. I would play queen e5. This is what I had thought of. The key move, uh, and after takes and takes and takes, I would take, and this is just two pawns to the good. Uh, this is pretty much a lot of people who don't know a lot about chess would be like, why is this so good? But this is just game over, basically, especially in a classical game. And remember, this guy's low on time and I'm not. There is no 40 move time bonus in this tournament. So, yeah, this is a nightmare. His king is far away, and these pawns are just gonna fly. Fly. Now, if he had maybe, like, let's say it was a 1-on-2 over here, then yeah, different story. Maybe he can counter pressure with pressure down this side of the board. But this is one-way traffic, and in all honesty, I would have easily took him down. But instead of this whole line, we get something similar but just worse from, and I didn't see this at all. And he took here. And I was kind of like, oh shit, did I miss something? But I did not. In this position, black has one move to win the game and completely be winning. And does look like checkmate. And you can play this move, which is bad. You can play this move, which is bad. You can play this move, which is bad. Or you can play queen here, which is good. And the reason for it is because the bishop has to take the queen. And now the knight recaptures, and when the dust settles, I'm attacking a pawn, and I'm up a piece. And I'm hitting the rook. Yeah. Uh, and it was actually in this position that my opponent resigned. It was it was heartbreaking for him. I feel like to kind of see that, he had a good position, a winning position, and to see it just kind of spiral out and turn in my favor. It was complicated. I played well. I made moves that put good pressure on him and made him find really hard moves to find to win the game. So I am proud of myself for my defending, but you do just feel for someone, that was definitely a tough loss for him. And but I'm glad to get the win. 2-0 to start the tournament. Really good feeling. I hadn't played a chess tournament in a while. I hadn't been taking chess super seriously, but I'm getting back into it. I'm winning games, and you guys will see how the rest of this tournament goes, and hopefully my throat can be okay as well. All right.